Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coach JC. Everyone gather around, should be a good one today. Today's topic is never ask a woman what she brings to the table. Clearly, you don't understand the favor that she'll bring to you and others. A lot of times, as men, will talk about, oh, what does a woman bring to the table? What does she bring to the table? Who is she? Well, a lot of times you'll figure a lot of that stuff out within the first 10, 20, 30 minutes meeting her, when y'all have your first phone call, your first conversation over the phone, through text messages, you kind of can see. And then also when y'all go on your first date, you definitely can see when she brings her energy, to see y'all connected on a mental note, spiritually, see where she's at there. So there's nothing wrong with like inquiring about, what she brings, but a lot of this stuff's gonna come naturally. When you're out there dating, you can pick up different vibes. You can pick up different ideas. When you just sit down, you talk to her over coffee, over tea, at a nice restaurant. You kind of can tell what kind of person she is. You want to look for someone that has good manners, people oriented, family oriented, not a whole lot of drama. Someone that's good to others. She might like to volunteer, she might like to give back. You actually want to look at the characteristics too. Like I said, just ask a woman what does she bring to the table. I mean, really unnecessary. Like I said, a lot of times you'll figure out what she brings later on. A lot of times it's more of a situation like, what does she bring? You gotta ask that, because saying like, what does she bring besides her body? And if that's your only mindset that you're trying to get with a woman just for her body, it's just, it really just says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't supposed to just be out there just trying to date, just to have sex and stuff like that. I mean, 'cause like I said, it's too much out here to be, you ain't got to really go on dates these days and have intercourse. So you don't have to really ask what she has to do, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're trying to see, she's the type of person that she can take care of you, etc. So, but even then, you still want to be a tough man that's got this self-assured. He's doing what he got to do. He may not be having the money, he may not be at a job, may not be at the career where he's at, but he's happy, he's content, and he continue to build on stuff. A lot of times, like I said, we're so focused on what she's doing, what he brings to the table. Well, we got to kind of look within ourselves, like, what are we bringing to the table? What can we provide? You know what I'm saying? We are the men, we the one that's supposed to be providing. Well, really, we weren't supposed to be, building the table and stuff. Don't ask what she wants to. Don't ask what she brings to the table. Just just build a table and have snacks, have gifts, have food prepared for her. Don't be trying to ask her what he brings to the table. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on your purpose. Focus on when you're out there dating, trying to see how can you add value to her life. You know what I mean? Because end of the day, like I said, you going after her, you know what I mean? You pursuing her, you trying to really get to know her, and then it come down to the point where like y'all getting to know each other, y'all trying to get to know y'all past, y'all family members, y'all trying to go to, people's where y'all both grew up at down the road. But initially, you trying to get to know her. Don't let mankind twist you like, oh well, what does she bring to the table outside her body? Like, nah. She can bring a lot, and like I said, I can tell for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of conversation to see how conversation is going to be. I know when I met my wife, I was like, she was telling me, okay, I did this, she did that, okay, she went to this school. I was like, the norm, what most women say, I was like, okay, cool, but it's just like I said, one thing I like about her, she was just like straight up with me. There was no mask, there's no mask on. She just gave it to me straight and raw. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. Appreciate it, but, and I did appreciate it. Like I said, we've been together ever since. Like I said, celebrating 5 years. So, like I said, all that stuff just comes naturally, but it is good to acquire and see, where the head at, because she has kids, kind of mom is she? If she don't have kids, what her goals and what she's trying to aspire to be, and then, go from there. A lot of stuff just comes naturally. You don't have to really have to be asked, just observe and just just make observations, really. You'll figure out if this person's good for you, you good for her, etc. A lot of times you ain't gotta say much. You just kind of sit back and just observe. And like I said, that would work for me, and that would work for people that, you know, pretty much in the game. It's not new, you know. They pretty much observe. They see, you know, hey, this person she cool with, we vibe with it, you got good conversations with it, and you know, just let stuff flow naturally. You know, don't just be on the table. Oh, what do you bring to the table? Oh, like you superior and stuff. Nah, just chill out and just try to figure out what you can bring, what kind of thing you can do or work on. You know, like I said, every day you gotta be working on something. You know, try to excel at something, you know, because like I said, women don't have a problem with that. They'll go to school and take classes, online classes, while having 2-3 jobs, and they'll continue to progress, and we'll be the ones that sitting there looking around, looking stagnant, don't want to contribute, don't want to do much. But yeah, though, all I really got to say for this video, until next time, out, Coach JC.